bookshelf. Okay, so we have a silk touch axe and a regular axe. Wait, it actually doesn't mine with the regular axe, and it mines with silk touch. Why is that a thing? I'm assuming that's a glitch, because that's really weird. Can a sniffer egg float? Yeah, it can float. Is there something the sniffers are hiding from us? Wait, will the egg hatch in the air? Okay, yeah, it does. I'm sorry, Snifflet. I didn't know it would work. Can the new mobs go upside down? Okay, so we have a dinner bone name tag, and yeah, it works for a sniffer, and it also works for a camel. This looks so weird. Can you breed bees with the new pink petals? Yeah, you can, but the only reason this works is because they're a flower. Can you put a baby sniffer in a boat? So we already tried with a big sniffer and it didn't work, but yeah, it works on a baby sniffer. This is true. Wait, maybe you can grow the sniffer in the boat. No, never mind. It just gets teleported out. Another mob that can't fit in a boat is a camel. But yeah, it also fits in a boat as a baby, although the same thing happens when you grow it, unfortunately. Can you bounce off of a slime? So obviously you can bounce off a slime block like this, but does it work on a slime? No, it doesn't work, but I don't understand why. They are both made from slime balls. Does string make lava quiet? So I turned subtitles on, and right now you can see the lava sound is being made. So let's put some string on the top, and yeah, for some reason the lava sound is gone. That's so weird. Can you shoot through a bamboo trapdoor? No, you can't. The giant hole isn't real, I guess. What about a cherry trapdoor? Yeah, if the bamboo one didn't work, there's no way that one was working. Striking a villager with lightning makes it a witch. Yeah, this one is true, and it really makes me wonder what striking a person with lightning does. Do parrots dance when you play music? Yeah, wait, they're going crazy. Unfortunately, this doesn't work when they're on your shoulder, though. Does Frostwalker work on armor stands? So let's just make this device real quick, and yeah, it turns all the water to ice. That's so cool. Oh, and I also just noticed that ice has a melting animation. I've never seen that before. Can you light two end portals at the same time? No, only one of the portals lights, but I don't really know when you would need this anyway. Can TNT boost an ender pearl? Okay, I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, I don't know if it made it go any further, but it definitely got boosted. Do frogs eat silverfish? No, it doesn't look like they eat these guys. This one is false. Can you hoe dirt on top of a chest to open it? So we have dirt, and we have a chest. And as you can see, it can't be opened. And yeah, hoeing the dirt makes it open. This one is true. Can piglins use a totem of undying? Here you go, man. Take the shiny object. I think it has to be a baby, because the big ones are already holding something. And yeah, it actually works. The baby survives with a totem. You can light a campfire by setting yourself on fire. Alright, as you already know, don't try this at home. No, it doesn't work. I set myself on fire for nothing. Can you jump 9 blocks with these 3 potions? So we have speed, slow falling, and jump boost. And yeah, it works. I jumped 9 blocks. Apparently mobs can't climb azalea leaves, so I am able to climb these leaves just fine. But yeah, the stupid zombies can't get in. This one is true. Apparently 2 wardens can't kill a witch. So let's put a witch in a cage like this. And yeah, the wardens attack the witch, but it never dies because of its potions. It's true. Can you put powdered snow inside leaves? So everyone knows you can waterlog leaves like this, but what about powdered snow logging? No, you can't. It's false. Can a zombie piglin spawn riding a strider? So let's just spawn a bunch of striders. Yeah, it's true, and he even has a fishing rod thing to control them as well. Can you trap animals with trapdoors? So if we put a bunch of trapdoors like this, and then spawn some sheep inside, they shouldn't be able to escape. Yeah, they can't follow me. I guess we know why they're called trapdoors now. Does reinforced deep slate protect you from the warden? Okay, so I already have darkness. This isn't looking good. Okay, yeah, he hit me. This one is not true. You can run underwater with No, you can't. What about a snow golem? Okay, yeah, the snow golem works, but I don't think he's making it out of the water. What about a wither? Yeah, this one is definitely not possible. I can't even place the heads. Do ocelots attack chickens? This one shows how much health it has. So as you can see, his tail is all the way up. Now let's do some animal cruelty. And yeah, his tail is all the way back down. And you can even see that I healed him and his tail went back up. This is true. Can fish live in mangrove roots? Okay, that one didn't work. But yeah, it works when I click on the bottom. He's inside of the mangrove roots. Do pumpkin stems always face west? So if I place one pumpkin down, it's kind of facing west. It's more northwest though. And yeah, each one of the stems faces the same direction. This one is true. What about sunflowers? This works with pretty much any projectile except for fishing rods. For some reason, they just do this. Apparently, bats don't drop XP. Alright, let's try to kill this guy with a bow. Wow, first try. Yeah, he didn't drop XP. This one is true. Can you kill blazes with water bottles? So I've heard of killing blazes with snowballs, but never water bottles. Yeah, it works, but it's gonna take a lot of water bottles to kill one of these guys, so a sword or an axe is a way better method. Can you use Frostwalker on a boat? Okay, so I have Frostwalker boots on, and no, this one isn't true. But why would you need a boat with Frostwalker anyway? Do llamas attack wolves? Okay, the wolf is literally sprinting away. And yeah, it's true. I didn't know llamas had any enemies. Except me, of course. Can you put a boat on top of your head? So let's just break this block. And yeah, I have a boat on top of my head now. Fashion has really been taken to new levels. Can you put armor on a villager? Yeah, he's taking way less damage now. This one is true. Does stained glass change the color of a warden's sonic boom? Okay, let's just provoke the warden again. No, this one is... Apparently nether fences can't connect to other fences. So if you have two types of wood fences, they'll connect like this. But when you place nether... Hear a goat for a goat horn. I really doubt this works. It makes no sense. Yeah, you can't do this. You just gotta wait for them to ram into you. Can you escape phantoms by going underwater? Nope, it looks like these guys can swim as well, if they weren't already annoying enough. I guess the only option to get rid of them is by sleeping. Do foxes get stuck in snow when chasing chickens? First it's the ocelots killing chickens, and now it's foxes. Everybody hates these guys. But yeah, they get stuck in the snow for a second when chasing them. That's kinda funny. Apparently ghasts can't swim. Okay, it's definitely not true. He is still chasing me underwater. Can you look at Enderman through glass? So this is me looking at an Enderman without glass. Not good. And this is me looking at one with glass. Yeah, he doesn't attack me anymore. It's true. Does naming a Vindicator Johnny make him attack all mobs? This one is kind of strange. I don't know what Johnny did. But yeah, it's true. For some reason he goes on a rampage. Can you stack two types of slabs? So apparently if I put two slabs like this against the world border and then push them together, it will make a cursed slab. Yeah, it does. That's so sure this is a thing in real life, so it's probably true. Yeah, it's true. He just eats that fall. Will tadpoles follow you if you hold a slime ball? So we know that this works with frogs, and yeah, it also works with tadpoles. This one is true. Can a warden survive a max height fall? Yeah, it's true. He survived. I guess cats and wardens are the same thing. Do potions of healing hurt undead mobs? Yeah, it's true, and the opposite works as well. You can heal undead mobs with harming potions. Can you breathe underwater with torches? So everybody knows you can breathe underwater with doors like this, but what about torches? Okay, it kinda works, but the torches break, so it's not technically true. Can you bridge to the outer end islands? So obviously I could sit here and bridge like this, but that's boring. I'm just gonna fly instead. Yeah, it's true. You don't even need to kill the ender dragon to get here. Although it's probably faster. That was like 1,000 blocks. Apparently you can clutch using the new wind charges. Okay, so let's just jump off here. And yes, this one is true. I didn't take any fall damage. And speaking of fall damage, does a breeze take any fall damage? Alongside taking no fall damage, breezes also deflect arrows. Okay, this is insane. The breeze might be the most powerful map. So if we just fill a bunch of dispensers like this, and then put a pressure plate in the middle, we should get launched super high. And yes, this one is true. It sent me way higher than 8 blocks. Can you one-shot the ender dragon with a mace? Okay, I'm pretty sure this one is true, but I heard they nerfed the mace a bit, so I gotta try it again. And yeah, this one is still true, although this isn't much better than just using beds. Apparently there is also new Minecraft credits. I don't actually know if this is new. Has anyone ever seen this background? Does a mace work with slow falling? This is so slow. They weren't messing around when they said slow falling. No, this one is not true. You have to risk death. Trial spawner. Yeah, if you right-click the trial spawner... Yeah, this one is also not true. There is no reason to break the trial spawner. Apparently you can't suffocate in a copper grate. So if I just press this lever here, yeah, I'm just chilling. Kinda looks like I'm in jail though. Guys, please subscribe so I can make bail. Does a beacon beam shine through a copper grate? Yes, this one is actually true, but it doesn't change the color of the beam, unfortunately. Apparently you can also dye horse armor. I've never heard of this before, so let's see. Okay, it obviously doesn't work with diamond, but let's check leather. Yeah, this one is true. Has this always been in the game and I'm just stupid? Every time there's a new update, we gotta try to Jeb underscore a mob. Nope, you cannot get rainbow dog armor. What about putting an armor trim on dog armor? No, this one is also not true, but it's understandable, because that would be too much drip, honestly. Apparently mobs can't see you through copper grates, so I'm just gonna put myself in jail for the second time this video. And yeah, the mobs just can't see me. funny. I guess these fences really work. Can you break a decorated pot with a firework? So I've heard of breaking these with projectiles, but not a firework. And yeah, this one is true. That's actually really cool. And not only can you break one decorated pot, apparently you can break multiple at once. Yeah, this one is true as well, and it's actually super satisfying to watch. Can you shear a wolf to remove its armor? Okay, so they're just making anything up now. Never mind, this one is true, for some reason. Why? And you can also dispense a brush onto an armadillo for a scute. I bet you didn't expect that, because it doesn't really make any sense. And just when you thought it can't get weirder, there is apparently an infinite scute glitch. Yeah, this only works in creative for some reason, because the brush will break in survival, but it's still kind of funny that my man can just never go bald. Apparently there are multiple new music discs in 1.21, so usually there is only one new music disc, but yeah, it appears there is more than one new music disc this time. Why does this sound like an epic Christmas song? Can you name a boat in 1.21? So I'm pretty sure I've tried this before and it doesn't work, and yeah, you still can't name a boat. Nothing has changed. Is there a new copper dimension in this update? Of course there isn't. Mojang is never gonna add a new dimension. Does a copper bulb stay activated with no redstone? So let's just break all this. Yeah, this one is true. I wonder if it ever runs out or just kind of stays like this. Speaking of running out though, apparently oxidized copper bulbs are dimmer. Yeah, this one is true. So I guess it does sort of run out unless you got some wax. Can you make ominous splash potions? Nope, I can't even put the ominous potion in the brewing stand. Does the new oozing potion cause an infinite slime glitch to happen? So if you kill something with an oozing effect, it drops slime. So what happens if it drops slime? These pigs need to chill. I don't know what they've been feeding them. And if you just want to freeze the game completely, apparently that works as well. Yeah, you just type /take freeze and the game becomes frozen. This cow will feel this pain forever. Does the new trial key open iron doors? This one is false. It's used for the trial vaults instead. A way better use than doors. Speaking of doors, can a breeze open them? Come on, shoot the door already. Yeah, this one is true. I guess no house is safe anymore. Can you put armor on a baby wolf? No, unfortunately you cannot. It's probably a few sizes too big. Everyone knows you can undye things with a cauldron, but can you use it to undye a dog's collar? Come on, it's bath time, buddy. No, you cannot. He still has a blue collar. Will a dog with armor survive a hit from a warden? Okay, he survived a lot more than one hit, and it looks like he can even survive a hit with no armor as well. Still didn't seem to help him that much though. Okay, we got a lore update from earlier. Apparently you can breed armadillos with spider eyes, and now it makes sense why the spiders are scared of them. Okay, it still doesn't really. I mean, the spider is at least double the armadillo's size. Will a zoglin attack an armor stand? Okay, this one is just stupid, but let's try it. Nah, there's no way. What about a hoglin? Hoglin seems unfazed. Yeah, I'ma just leave these guys to it, I guess. Can you use a wind charge to move dripstone? So we tried this with TNT earlier, and yeah, this works with dripstone as well. Can you punch a wind charge back at a breeze? So just like a ghast, apparently I can hit this thing back. Yeah, it's true, which makes me question why we can't do this with blazes. Another thing to do with breezes and blazes is they both have rods, and the rods just don't. We all know it won't spawn any mobs, but this is not the case for trial spawners. Apparently you can shoot through a copper grate, so this has never worked with anything else before, but let's try it. No, this one is not true. Is a bogged able to breathe underwater? Yeah, I don't think this guy's gonna drown anytime soon, so this is true. Is there hidden rooms in the new trial chambers? So I actually already know this one is true, because I found these in my build hacks video that I made for 1.21. Can I wear a heavy core on my head? So the heavy core does kind of look like a mob head, but unfortunately you are not able to wear it as a hat. This is false. Apparently the ender pearl has a new sound. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it didn't make any sound before, so this is true. Will an armadillo die in a snow biome? Let's just place our armadillo here. No, it doesn't seem like it. I think he's chilling, literally. There is a new setting to disable the splash text on the title screen. Yeah, this is true, and I honestly don't know why. Like, why would you want to do this? Is there a new bat texture in Minecraft 1.21? Yes, there is a new bat. Apparently, if you drop a totem of undying on the ground and land on it, you will live. Alright, so we got our totem here, and let's just drop it all the way down. And let's just fall down on top of the totem. Oh my god, that actually worked. What? Apparently you can MLG into a cauldron. Alright, let's just go up on top of the cauldron, and we'll fall all the way down. And no, this one does not work. I still would have died. Apparently naming a rabbit Toast changes his skin. So let's just get our Toast name tag, and we'll place a rabbit like this, and let's just name him. And yeah, it actually changes his skin.
I've never seen a skin before. and he died. This one is false.
Apparently a gold pickaxe mines faster than netherite. So this is how fast netherite is able to mine stone, and this is how fast gold is able to mine stone. This is actually true. It's noticeably faster. But for some reason, when you put efficiency 5 on both of the pickaxes, the netherite one becomes faster. I don't even understand how that works. Apparently you can make glowing signs. So if we just take our regular sign here, and we get a glowing sack, apparently this will make it glow. No way, it actually makes it glow. How did I not know this exists? Apparently you are also able to dye signs. Alright, so it's the same thing as the ink sac.
When your business is on the path to AI, Dell AI Factory with NVIDIA can quickly implement the AI you need, help keep your data secure, and give you the flexibility to keep moving forward.
That is cool. Look at this, Cadillac Crest, the lighting. This is beautiful. 22s, this is sporty. Woo! I started a new career 10 years ago exactly, from right now, and I'm trying to build something special. My business is all about lifestyle, it's about luxury, it's about sophistication. A lot of great creative directors and a lot of great brands, they're well ahead of it. Every brand has to evolve. If you don't jump on the train, it's going to leave the station without you. You got touchscreen and you get to use the knob. And I didn't even notice the sunroof. That is a full panoramic sunroof.
I love it. My kids will love that.
Definitely. Elevators. Cadillac has done a great job.
Right now. But what if I put a pig in the boat and then I put a lead on the pig?
Okay, it just takes the pig out of the boat. This one isn't true. Apparently, 1 block of water is able to hydrate crops that are 4 blocks away. So let's just put our water here, and we'll just hoe all this dirt. And yeah, it's hydrating the crops all the way over here, even though the water is here. Can you smelt an iron door into iron nuggets? So as you know, you can smelt gold and iron tools into nuggets like this. As you can see, I have a nugget right here. But can you do this with iron doors? No, it doesn't look like anything's happening. This is false. Will a baby villager jump on a bed? So let's just spawn a baby villager like this, and apparently he's supposed to just jump on this bed randomly. Okay, well right now he's following his parent, so we have to take care of that. And now let's see if he jumps on this bed. Okay, he's standing on the bed, and yeah, he's jumping on the bed. This one is true. Apparently throwing an XP bottle upwards gives more XP. So let's just throw it down first, and we got exactly 1 level. And now let's try throwing the bottle upwards, and we got a little bit more XP. This one might be true, but it also might be random, so I'm not really sure if it's true or not. Apparently there's an easy trick to find diamonds 100% of the time. So if we go to the middle of a clay patch like this, and then we go 6 blocks south, apparently under the 7th block, there will always be diamonds. So let's just mine down like this, and we found gold, but that's not diamonds, so let's keep mining, and we've hit the void, and there's no diamonds. I don't think this one is true. Apparently a hoglin can survive a 50 block fall.
So we have our hoglin here, and I'm sorry, buddy, but you're going off the edge.
No, the hoglin did not survive. This one is false. Apparently you can sleep underneath lava without dying. So we have a lava bed here. I was just sleeping in bed
Yeah, this one's actually true. The villager's wearing a pumpkin now.
Apparently you can trap a warden by quickly placing wool over top of him. So let's just start spawning our warden like this, and if we place wool like this, apparently this traps the warden. And yeah, this one is true. The warden is just kind of trapped in wool now. That's so funny. Apparently you can put out a campfire by right-clicking it with a shovel. And yeah, this is true. It puts out all the campfires instantly. Apparently if you right-click a villager during a raid, it will sweat. So let's just right-click this guy, and I swear I just saw water particles coming from him. Yeah, there's water particles coming from him. This one is true. The villagers really do sweat during the raid. Apparently a dolphin will pick up diamonds. So let's just throw some diamonds to this dolphin, and he's going back for them, I think. And yeah, the dolphin is picking up diamonds. That's so cool. He even throws them back to me. It's just like an allay, but underwater. Will a zombie chase an invisible villager? So we have our zombie right here, and let's just make this villager invisible, and we made the zombie invisible too. Okay, we have to redo that. Alright, let's just try this again. And yeah, he's chasing the invisible villager. This guy has some really good eyesight, I guess. Will a grindstone remove a curse from an item? So let's just put these pants in the grindstone. And no, it literally does nothing. It just keeps the curse of binding on it. Apparently, if you trick a skeleton into lighting TNT, it will make creepers drop a ton of music discs. So let's just get the skeleton to shoot the TNT like this. And he shot the TNT, so let's see what happens. And yeah, they dropped a ton of music discs. That's so cool. I had no idea you could get music discs like this. Apparently, you can milk goats. Okay, I don't know how I've never heard of this one, but it actually makes sense. So let's see if it gives me milk. And yeah, the goat actually gives me milk. How did I not know this is true? Can you put 2 parrots on your shoulder? So let's just tame our parrots like this. And we got 1 parrot on our shoulder. Let's go for 2. Okay, I don't really know if this one's true. He doesn't seem to be getting on it. Oh wait, it actually worked. He got on my shoulder right when I thought it was false. Okay, I guess this one is true. You can dual wield parrots, but can you get 3 parrots? I don't think so. He's just running away from me. Will a totem of undying save me from /kill? Alright, so let's just /kill. And no, the totem of undying did not save me, unfortunately. Apparently, throwing an instant health potion upwards will give you more health than throwing it down. So let's just throw a potion down like this. And as you can see, it gave me 2 hearts. So now let's throw one up in the air like this. And it still gave me 2 hearts. This one is false. Apparently, a witch can't die to instant damage potions. So let's just rain instant damage potions down. And yeah, the witch is just drinking instant health and it's countering it. This one's true. Can you make suspicious stew with a wither rose? So let's just put all these things in the crafting table. And yeah, you can make suspicious stew with a wither rose. This one is true. Will lightning turn a mushroom cow into a brown cow? So let's just spawn a lightning bolt. And yeah, it turns it into a brown cow, but not the brown cow you would expect. It's actually a brown mushroom cow. Will a baby piglin ride a baby hoglin? So let's get our baby hoglin right here. And we'll spawn a ton of baby piglins. And now let's see if one of these guys rides the hoglin. Okay, nothing is happening so far. Oh, and one of them actually is riding on the hoglin. This is true. And wait, multiple of them are stacking on top. You can make an entire piglin stack with this. This is so cool. Does soul fire do double the damage of regular fire? So let's just stand on the fire, and as you can see, it did half a heart to me. But now let's try standing on soul fire. Yeah, the soul fire does 1 heart, and the regular fire only does half a heart. This one is actually true. I had no idea. Apparently a flame bow can ignite a campfire. And yeah, that ignited the campfire. This one is true. Can you walk on powdered snow with frostwalker boots? Okay, so this one would make a lot more sense than magma, so let's see if it's true. And no, it doesn't look like it's true. I've sunken in the snow. Apparently new emerald armor was added in 1.20. So obviously there was no new emerald armor added in 1.20, but you can put this armor trim on a full set of diamond armor, and as you can see, it kinda looks like emerald armor, even though you can still see the diamond a little bit. So I'll say this one is partly true, I guess. Apparently if you breed 2 different colors of sheep, it'll combine their colors. So let's just breed these sheep, and it should make a purple sheep. And yeah, this is true. Now we have a baby purple sheep. This is kinda cool. Apparently you can farm crops in the nether. Okay, I'm not really sure why this would work, but let's just give it a try. Okay, and it kinda looks like these are hydrated somehow. Okay, I somehow placed 1 seed, but I'm not able to place seeds in these ones. That's so weird. So I guess this is partially true, I guess. I'm not really sure if this will actually grow. Apparently hostile mobs can't cross over rails. So let's just place some rails on the ground like this, and we'll spawn a bunch of zombies. And yeah, it looks like they can't get me past these rails. This one is somehow true. Apparently items can sink through mud into hoppers. So let's just throw some diamonds through here. And yeah, it looks like they sunk through the mud. Apparently if you ride in a minecart and then sleep in a bed, it'll make you sleep on the floor. Okay, it doesn't look like it worked. I'm pretty sure I'm still in the bed. This one is false. Apparently there will always be a lush cave underneath an azalea tree. So let's just try to find an azalea tree like this. Okay, and we finally found an azalea tree, so now we just have to mine underneath it. So let's just start mining down. And yeah, we've landed in a lush cave. This one is true. Apparently the warden can't kill you on carpet. So let's just stand on a carpet like this, and it's already looking kind of bad. I have the darkness effect. Okay, the warden is literally standing right beside me. There's no way he doesn't kill me, right? Okay, yeah, he's getting angry. Okay, yeah, that one's false. I don't know who thought of that. There's no way that was gonna work. Apparently you can make infinite water with only 1 water bucket. So if we place a block like this, and then mine out 4 like usual, and then we place our water right here, apparently if we put kelp on these blocks, it'll make an infinite water source. So let's just put kelp all over here, and it did change the water. So let's just break this, and yeah, now we have infinite water from only 1 water bucket. That's so cool. Will a totem of undying work in the void? So let's just fall into the void. And no, the totem of undying does not work in the void.
Submit your Lay's flavor idea, and you could win $1 million.
Hawaiian pizza lays for the contest.
Pure enlightenment lays.
Paprika chili Lay's.
Szechuan sauerkraut.
Jordan, I knew I shouldn't have gave you a key.
Join Planet Fitness now for $1 down and pay nothing until January 17th. Ends December 30th.
unfortunately. Apparently, iron golems don't take fall damage. So let's just push this guy off, and let's see if he takes fall damage. No, he actually didn't take fall damage. This one is true. I guess that's what happens when you're made of iron. You're just invincible. Can you mine lapis ore with a stone pickaxe? So we have regular lapis, and let's just break it with a stone pick. And yeah, it actually dropped the lapis. This is true. But now, can you break a deep slate lapis with a stone pick as well? Yeah, this one also works. I guess you only need a stone pick to collect lapis. Is a diamond and a turtle egg the same texture? So we have our diamond right here, and we also have our turtle egg. And yeah, I can actually kind of see the similarities. Like, they have the exact same shape, and the shading is kind of the same as well. I don't know. Let me know if you think these are the same texture or not in the comments. I'm pretty sure that they are. Apparently, if you dig straight down at your world spawn, there will always be diamonds. So let's just start digging straight down from where we spawn, and there was no sign of diamonds anywhere. This one is unfortunately false. Can you survive a fall by landing on a watermelon? So the logic behind this one is because it has water in the name. And no, it's not true. It was pretty obvious it isn't true, to be fair. Apparently, you can run over a 1-block gap. So let's just get a running start from back here. And no, I fell in the lava. Alright, let's just try it a few more times. And wait, I actually just ran right over the lava. Somehow this one is true, but it only happens sometimes. So I would still be careful if there's 1 block of lava like this. Apparently you can survive 4 anvils dropped on your head. So we have 4 anvils up here, as you can see. And let's just break the wood block that's holding all these anvils up. And yeah, I somehow survived 4 anvils getting dropped on my head. Although I'm stuck in the anvils now, so I'm not really sure if this is a good idea anyway. Apparently if you throw diamond armor into lava, it will turn into netherite. Alright, so let's just throw a full set in here. And yeah, this one is definitely not true. If you fall for this, you deserve it, to be honest. Apparently netherite armor can survive lava though. So let's just throw our netherite armor in. The netherite armor actually swam back up. This one is true. Can you combine 2 different types of stairs by putting them in the border? So let's just place our 2 stairs like this, and we'll put a piston behind them, and apparently this will combine both of the stairs. Yeah, this one is true, and this is so weird. Like, look at the 2 stairs mixing right here. I'm pretty sure this is not supposed to happen. Apparently turning a shulker invisible will make him lose his shell. Yeah, this one is true, and this looks so weird. There's literally just this little head right here. Apparently you can spawn a giant slime. So apparently using this command, I will spawn a giant slime. So let's just try it.
Oh my god, this slime is massive.
Yeah, this one is definitely true. I would not want to run into this slime in my world.
Nope, you cannot. I'm clicking, as you can see, and nothing is happening.
This one is false. Apparently you can mine a dragon egg if you put it underwater. Okay, so as you know, you can't normally mine a dragon egg, so let's see if this works. Okay, no, the dragon egg just teleports away. This one isn't true. If you throw a trident with loyalty on it, and then you fill your inventory, apparently it'll chase you. So let's just throw our trident really far away like this, and now let's fill our entire inventory up quickly, and apparently the trident will just chase us, and yeah, the trident is just flying around me. This is so weird. Look at what it does when I stand still. This is so funny. Apparently you can't blow up a nether star. So let's just light this TNT. And yeah, this one is true. The nether star just flew away, but it didn't explode. Will lightning turn a red mushroom into a brown mushroom? Similar to how it does that with the cows. Alright, let's just summon a lightning bolt. And no, this one isn't true. The mushroom is still red. Will looting work if the sword is in your offhand? So let's just put this sword right here, and we'll hold out another sword, and let's kill the mushroom cows with our diamond sword instead. Alright, that one just dropped 2 beef and 1 leather. What about this guy? Alright, 1 beef and 1 leather. I don't think it's true. Looting would give way more. Apparently, if you type excited ZE into the crafting table, it changes your language. And yeah, wait, everything is completely different. I'm pretty sure it changed my game to pirate language.
What is this? The warden will no longer be able to spawn in your world.
Can a bee survive a hit from the warden? Alright, I honestly have no idea how this one would be true. I mean, how is a bee gonna survive an entire warden? Okay, it looks like the warden's found him. Oh, and he's getting angry. And no, the bee did not survive a hit from the warden. This one is false. Will a camel protect you from taking damage from a ravager? So let's saddle up our camel, and we'll just go in survival like this. And no, this one is not true. I'm still being hit by the ravager. If you jump on a cactus, you can jump 2 blocks high. Alright, so we've placed our cactus in our 2-block jump. jump, and I'm assuming I just have to do this, and hopefully I'll be able to jump 2 blocks. Alright, I don't really know about this one, but I'm pretty sure that this works with fire, so let's just keep trying it. Come on, surely it'll let me jump 2 blocks. I don't know, maybe I'm just bad, but I'm gonna have to say this one is false. It's not working for me. Apparently, Skulk can't spread in water. So we have our Skulk catalysts right here, and let's kill this skeleton, and as you can see, the Skulk spreads, but apparently if there's water here, it won't spread, so we have to try this. Alright, let's just place water all over the Skulk, and we'll put down another skeleton, and this one's not true. I'm pretty sure I saw it spread. Yeah, this one isn't true. It's spreading underwater. Apparently, if you give an Allay an item, it can't explode. So we have our Allay right here, and we'll give him a diamond, and now let's place a ton of TNT all over the place, and we'll just put some diamonds here so we can go get them, and we'll light the TNT. The TNT didn't really hit him, but I didn't see him take damage. He just kind of got blown away, so I'm gonna say this one is true. Apparently, if you Ender Pearl and then go in the end, it'll send you back to the overworld. Okay, and we'll just throw an Ender Pearl all the way over here, and now let's go in the end, and it should TP us any second. Okay, yeah, this one is false. It would have TP'd us by now. Apparently, all cats in a witch hut spawn as black cats. So, as you can see, there's already a black cat right here, and we'll spawn our cats in the witch hut, and yeah, they're all black cats. That's so crazy. And as you can see, if I go over here, they're just normal cats. So it's literally just the witch hut. Wow, that's so weird. Apparently in the new update, you can summon the white enderman with a command. So I'm typing the summon command, and I don't see anything coming up for white enderman. This one is false. Apparently ancient debris resembles an old warped log. So we have a warped log here, and as you can see, this is what it looks like, and here's an ancient debris beside it. Apparently this is supposed to be an old warped log. It doesn't really look like it on the sides, but the top looks pretty similar, so I don't really know if this one is true. You guys let me know if you think this resembles a warped log or not. I honestly don't know. Apparently there's a secret room under the village well. I'm pretty sure these village wells have been in Minecraft forever, so I'm pretty sure I would know about this if there was a secret room. And let's just mine the blocks out under here. I mean, there's a cave down here, but I'm pretty sure that's not a secret room. This one is false. Apparently there's a secret new deep dark villager. So let's just spawn a villager. And no, this is just a normal villager. There's no new deep dark villager in this game. I'm sorry. Apparently there's a secret room hidden under the igloo. So if we break this carpet here, there's supposed to be a hidden room somewhere under here. Wait, there's actually a trap door. And there's a ladder down to the bottom. What's down here? And yeah, there's actually a secret room down here, and it looks like there's a thing to cure a zombie villager down here. And you get this chest with a golden apple, so all you need is a weakness potion. Oh wait, you can actually get a weakness potion here too, so you can literally just cure this villager right here. That's so cool. Apparently sniffers can sniff for seeds in the end. So we have our sniffer right here, and let's see if he can find some seeds. Alright, he's sniffing the air. This might be true. Okay, he's been sniffing for a long time, and he hasn't found anything yet. I don't think this one is true. Apparently there's a new bat in the new update. So let's just spawn a bat right here, and yeah, this is actually a new bat. This looks so cool. Apparently you can now put items in a decorated pot. So we have our decorated pot right here, and let's just right click it with these diamonds, and it's doing something. Okay, now let's right click it to see if they're in the pot. Okay, I don't know, the pot's just kind of wiggling. Maybe we have to break the pot. And yeah, the diamonds came out of the pot. This one is true. You can put items in pots now. Can you break pots with arrows?
Alright, let's just shoot the pot. And yeah, this one is true, but it only drops bricks. It doesn't drop the pot. And just to be clear, you can break pots with every projectile, not just arrows. Can you give a snow golem fire resistance? Alright, so we have our snow golem right here, and let's just splash him. And yeah, he has particles, but does this actually work? And yeah, the snowman is just swimming in lava and not dying. This is the weirdest thing I've seen. Does an evoker turn blue sheep red? Alright, so we have our blue sheep here. I don't really know why this one would work, but let's just spawn our evoker, and he's doing something. Can the sheep actually turn red? What? Why doesn't this guy like blue sheep? Can you survive a 50 block fall with feather falling 4 boots? So let's just put feather falling on the boots, and now let's just fall down this 50 block platform. And no, I died. Apparently putting a pumpkin on your head stops endermen from attacking you completely. So we have our enderman right here, and let's just put a pumpkin on our head, and now let's fight the enderman. Okay, yeah, just kidding you. This one's definitely not true. The enderman's still attacking me with a pumpkin on their head. It's only good for looking at. Apparently camels can make a 12 block jump. Yeah, it's true. They need this guy in the end. But now let's see if the camel can get 50 from the ender dragon. This is kind of a weird situation. Alright, camel can get to the end. But yeah, actually works. But it's not too good for a camel. Okay, let's work
important, so place my own trigger. And yeah, it's been 3 times, and nothing's happened. This one is true. Apparently there's a new port in the deep dark. Let's light this. Wait, what? Okay, obviously I'm joking. This is a texture pack. Apparently you can heal Vexes into LAs by giving them milk. Alright, I'm giving him milk and nothing is happening. This one is fake. Can you use goat horns to call goats over to you? He's looking at me. No, it does not work. He's not coming over here. Do you need Silk Touch to mine a Skulk sensor? Alright, nothing dropped with no Silk Touch. And it drops with Silk Touch. This one is true. Okay, I found out I'm supposed to use a hoe and not a pickaxe. I don't want to hear it. You can now place water inside of leaves. So just like a sign or a slab, I should be able to do this on leaves. Yes, it works, and it doesn't even flow out either. That's so cool. Swift Sneak makes dive mining faster. So that was me mining without Swift Sneak. And yeah, I mean, I move faster, but it doesn't make—
What would happen if a kid accidentally gets sent to the most dangerous levels inside of the backrooms? I'm talking about the levels with the most hostile environments, ravenous entities, and unforgiving effects that even an adult like myself would struggle with. Well, in this video, our good old pal Billy is going to explore 3 different deadly backrooms levels, and we'll decide if it is in fact possible for a kid to survive them. Leave a like right now if you think Billy's going to be able to survive any of them. Without further ado, let's get into the video, shall we? So today, I will be sending Billy, our good old pal, to level 7, level Run for Your Life, and level You Cheated. Now, these levels are obviously very dangerous, even for adults and for everybody involved. So I'm going to break down how I think Billy would do if he was sent there. The results actually might surprise you, so stick around to the end. If you missed part 1 of the series, I sent Billy to more famous backrooms levels like level 0 and stuff. Check that out after this video if you want to. Or not, I don't really care. Starting with the easiest level on the list today is level 7. Now, level 7, of course, being level Thalassophobia. This level is full of deep water, choppy waves, weird islands scattered around, and just these strange gravitational effects. Billy would start in the level where everyone else gets sent.
Listen, paying $14.99 a month for a streaming app and $9.99 a month for a music app.
It's a place called the Entrance Room. This room takes place above the ocean here, and it is by far the safest place. Physically, this room looks like a half-flooded area with water about halfway up the walls. The water in it is still and not moving, so it is pretty safe for anybody. Now, Billy is 11 years old, so he's not completely stupid, so he would know not to look below to the ocean and not to jump in instantly. He would look around at the surroundings inside of this room and, calm down, and he would just take inventory on what's around him. The only thing that sucks about this level is that in order to escape it, you do have to leave that starting room and swim in the ocean. If Billy knew this, he would need to jump down into the choppy sea below, and he would need to swim towards the largest mountain that's visible. This mountain is visible from the start, so it's not like it's a really impossible thing to find, but the exit to it is located on the back side of the mountain in a half-submerged cave. So in order to make it out, Billy would have to tread water and swim until he makes it to that island. Now, the distance to the island from the starting room is not an official length, since no one has like a tape measure that's a mile long, but if Billy could make it just to the shore of that island, he could just rest for a while before swimming down to the cave, and he wouldn't, tire out. If he does make it to the beach and he rests for a little bit, he could then dive slightly underwater to see that cave and go into it. Now, the only issue with this theory is that kids and children's lungs are not as developed as adults, so they can't breathe or hold their breath as easily or as long as an adult. So Billy would have to try his hardest to hold his breath while he's swimming down to the cave and while he's paddling to the island. The good news is kids are good swimmers. I remember swimming all over at age 11 myself. So I'm sure if I was in Billy's shoes, I could probably swim the half a mile to a mile to get to that island pretty easily. I'm tired, but I could do it. I also think Billy is too small of a target for the entities on this level. For instance, the Thing on level 7 typically swims too deep in order to attack a small target like Billy, and Tiny, the other entity, I don't even think Tiny would notice Billy. So do I think Billy could survive level 7 after jumping in the water, swimming to the island, and finding that cave? Yes, I actually do think that Billy could beat this level. It's not infested with entities, the environment is really the only danger that you have to worry about, and maybe staying afloat. But if Billy was an avid, decent swimmer, I think he could make it. Moving on to a much more dangerous level is level Run for Your Life. This level, of course, being the famous red hallway that looks like a hospital. In order to complete this level, you need to run as fast as you can to get to the end of the hallway where there is an exit door waiting. The only issue is there is a horde of entities chasing you. Now, level Run for Your Life actually got changed recently, but for the purpose of this video, we'll be using the old classic version to send Billy to. So if Billy were to get sent here, he would start at the beginning of the hallway where everybody else does. He would have just a few seconds to look around, kind of get the lay of the land, before there's entities that bust down the door behind him. The entity count changes depending on how many people get sent here. So it could be 1 or 2, it could be 4 or 5. It really just depends on how lucky Billy is. And so far, he's pretty lucky. I mean, he just beat level 7, so let's break down if Billy could run the miles and miles to the exit to escape these entity hordes and the dangerous level that he's in right now. The average 11-year-old male can run at just about 6.5 meters a second, which is about 3.5 miles per hour. This hallway is several miles long, and the exit at the end of it is after all that, of course. So in order for Billy to make it to the exit, he would have to full out sprint constantly with no brakes and no calming down or anything in order to make it to the end. The average running speed for a 20-year-old male like myself is exactly double that of Billy, around 6.5 to 7.5 miles per hour or 10 to 12 kilometers per hour. So it'd be much easier for an adult like myself or anybody that's older in decent shape to run the length of the hallway since their legs are longer and their endurance is better. One advantage that Billy does have, though, is that he would be able to crawl under and around the obstacles here and kind of like slide under them and move around them faster. This level's full of beds and chairs and tables in the middle of the hallway, so Billy himself could probably evade them better. Adults might have a little harder time getting around these objects since they're bigger than Billy would be. Anyway, the entities would definitely be faster than Billy, so in order for him to do it, he would have to bob and weave constantly to survive. So if somehow Billy makes it to the end of the level, it will be a miracle, because I do not think Billy could survive level Run for Your Life. Unless the entities are running slower for some reason, or there's more objects in the way than usual that are kind of blocking them back for him, I think they would catch poor little Billy about halfway through. Now, if Billy had a scooter or something, or like a motorcycle, yeah, he can make it through. But he probably cannot do it with just his 2 feet. Rest in peace, Billy. Drop a like for him. And finally for this video, could Billy survive level You Cheated? Now, I just went over level You Cheated since it's got a new update and it's bigger and better than it used to be. So if you want to check that out, do it.
But buckle up for this.
Billy is about to have the worst time.
With these weird entities
Running around trying to chase you. The goal of this maze is to get to the center of it, where a level exclusive entity known as the Boss lives. Now, this entity is very dangerous, and in order to make it out of the level, you have to kill the boss with materials that you find in the maze. Whether it's this piece of wood or metal or something, you gotta find it, put it together, and use it as a weapon to kill the boss. Now, off the bat, Billy would be at a disadvantage with physical strength, since he's a kid. But kids are also smaller targets, so if Billy finds a good weapon in the maze and somehow makes it to the center, I think he could sneak up to the entity and kill it before it notices he's there, especially if he's quiet. You know, if he's tiptoeing around and stuff, he might be able to sneak up. You have 3 chances to beat this maze before being sent to level game over, so I think Billy could probably do it at least 1 out of those 3 times to beat the maze part. Now, if somehow Billy cheated and was sent to the You Cheated halls, I don't think he would last very long. The You Cheated area is, of course, infested with entities, shoulder to shoulder. It's this horrifying maze of awful entities, and they're just going to attack you. There's just too many things here. So I think for him to beat the level, he would have to succeed in killing the entity in the middle of the maze. There's literally no other option. He couldn't risk being sent to level You Cheated or level game over. He would have to beat the maze level. And if he doesn't beat that maze and doesn't kill the entity or somehow cheats, that would probably be the end of poor Billy, since I don't think that he can make it out of level You Cheated. So this one is more of a yes and a no situation. But let me know what you think in the comments below. So let's recap. I think Billy could survive level 7 and maybe level You Cheated. But he definitely cannot survive level Run for Your Life. So like 1.5 out of 3 levels for today. Billy survived 1.5 times. That's not too bad. I've seen worse. Let me know in the comments what other levels I should send little old Billy to test his survival skills, and what other scenarios he should be in. I like this series a lot. Hope y'all do too. Thank y'all for watching. Love each and every one of you.
Check out my Twitter and Instagram below if you want to connect to me on any social medias. I post cool stuff on there sometimes. I don't know. If you want to see me over there, that's where I'm at. Also check out Toogly and Spoogly if you want more of me. I would appreciate that. I know that you guys like seeing reaction videos on Toogly. Been doing some more of those. And some more video essay style stuff on Spoogly. Anyways, all that yammering out of the way. I'll catch you on the next video. Rest in peace, baby. Holes through you and everyone else is there. Broogli almost never speaks or vocalizes, and any audio that comes out of its suit is very staticky and unintelligible gibberish. It just kind of sounds like a robot talking, but a broken one.
Its attitude and treatment of wanderers that visit the level will change depending on who's there. Sometimes Barnaby's passive, and they don't even acknowledge that you're there, but other people will get attacked instantly by Barnaby without hesitation. And these attacks are very ruthless. Barnaby will bite and claw and scratch and pretty much tear its victims from limb, and what Barnaby does with these victims afterwards is unknown. We don't know if it consumes them or stores them somewhere. We have no idea. There have been numerous attempts and investigation to find the bodies of missing people here, however, none have succeeded. Barnaby is incapable of leaving the level's restaurant or escaping the level at all. Even though it's displayed a high level of intelligence, and it seems to be fully aware of its surroundings, Barnaby's existence is still unknown. It can't tell us why it's there, and we also don't know why it can't leave. But what I just explained to you is literally all we know. It's a strange, rabbit-like mascot animatronic thing that may or may not attack you if you come here. Now, you cannot harm Barnaby, and any use of weapons that has been used in the past has not worked at all. To be frank, it's actually done worse for you, because then Barnaby will get mad. And this just makes the creature that more dangerous, as if it could have gotten scarier than a giant animatronic bunny. There are no bases here, of course. I doubt Barnaby would enjoy or appreciate that. And if you come to the Fun Emporium, the only known entrance is from level 4, the office building. Now, you might run across an elevator with the Barnaby Bun Fun Emporium logo on it, and if you do in level 4, you open it up, and you'll enter inside here from a janitor's closet. Now, exiting the level is as simple as getting back in that elevator that you used to enter. The only problem is, occasionally the entrance to this elevator will not open. It'll just be stuck closed, and it's been known to change itself into that janitor's closet for extended periods of time before turning back to the elevator. So you better hope that when you're trying to leave, Barnaby isn't fed up with you and chasing you around because you don't have time to wait for the elevator then. But this exit is not guaranteed to appear instantly. Barnaby's Fun Emporium is not very well understood, and even the information I just told you took forever for Meg to catalog and describe. As of right now, it's a very, very dangerous thing to get sent here since your safety cannot be guaranteed because, Barnaby has his own mind. It's been kidnapping people for years. Theories on this level range from it being a forgotten real-world diner from the front rooms from the 1980s, and it somehow ended up here, to it being a diner from another dimension from the multiverse, to other things, like Barnaby being the creator of the level, and it kind of functions as a trap for Barnaby to consume people as their prey. Who knows, whatever it may be, it's a very dangerous place, and it should not be trifled with under any circumstance at all. You've been warned by me, you've been warned by Meg. Don't go, it's that simple, man. Me personally, I could probably, take him in a fight, but that's just because I'm me. You're not me. Backrooms level, the trees scream, is underneath the anomalous section of levels in the fandom. So we're really not sure where the level falls or what number it'll have or where it's located physically, but all that we do know is what I'm about to go over. The level has been given a Class 5 difficulty and is, of course, very unsafe and unsecure, and there are very few documented entities. None of them are regular, but there's still some. I'll get into it later. The level itself is split up into 4 known parts. Those are the woods, the sirens, the screaming scenery, and the camera cloud forest. And I'll get into all those in a second, but first, the level's basic appearance will start like this. You'll wake up on the level, and you'll notice that all around you there is a dark, never-ending forest with very little light. No matter where you go on this level, there's going to be a bunch of trees surrounding and engulfing you. The trees themselves are very tall, very wide, and they just give off very bad energy. You feel like you're in an ocean, but there's no actual water waves, it's just trees. The level is extremely loud, like deafeningly loud. It'll make you lose your hearing. And there's many different types of sounds coming from different parts of the level. You could hear a siren sound, or a loud screech, or screams, or moans, or wails, or cries in pain. Literally anything like that, any loud, crass noise, you're gonna hear while you're on this level. I'll get into where those sounds are coming from in a second, but after you walk around the level for an extended amount of time and kind of just make your way through that first forest, you'll begin to notice something about the trees in the forest. There seems to be sirens shoved into the bark at random places, and those noises that I just talked about are coming from those sirens. The longer you're here, the louder and louder they're gonna get, and after approximately 17 minutes of you being here, the screaming and the siren sounds will become unbearably loud. It's at this point where the sounds get to an estimated 130 decibels, which, if you don't know, that's loud. That's really loud. You'll begin to lose your mind, you'll begin to lose your hearing, and everything will become glitchy and start to warp. It is literally so loud that the physical air that you're walking through will feel like it's a real thing you can touch. That's how loud the sound waves are. You can almost touch them. At this point, everything that you can see will begin to change. The trees themselves will seem to warp and manifest themselves into radio towers and siren towers, and the ground underneath you will begin to warp into a pathway. Everything at this point is so loud that you've essentially lost the ability to hear, and now everything just looks different. This will transition us into the next part of this level, which is the siren site. After the trees warp fully into sirens, you'll begin to enter this area. The sirens here produce all forms of sounds at all forms of wavelengths. You'll get things like air horns, or tornado sirens, or emergency alerts, or legitimately any kind of siren you can think of inside of this area. And the noises the sirens produce are constant. There's no break in between. They're always blaring. The towers themselves are similar to how the trees were, because they're very tall, very wide, and they just go up in the sky for an indefinite amount of time. The landscape where the sirens appear is a little bit more flat and rocky than the woods were. The woods were kind of hilly, but these towers just give off these very dark and foreboding vibes as you look up towards them. Of course, they're also constantly blaring loud noises. That doesn't help either, but everything here is just terrifying looking. The towers are also known to collapse and fall down at random times, so unless you want to get squished like a bug, I would recommend watching out. Walking through the siren sites, you could randomly be teleported to the next part of the level, the screaming scenery. Now, this is the part of the level that takes place in a vast cornfield and a flower field. It's kind of like corn and flower mixed together. As far as the eye can see, just a big corn crop field. The plants here are so thick that it'll take a lot of physical force to push your way through them and to continue wandering, and this is actually the only part of the level with physical dangers that might hurt you. The rest of the place tends to have the auditory dangers, but the danger here is in the form of a mysterious entity that runs through the cornfield and lives inside of it. It's unknown what the entity is or what it looks like, but it's been nicknamed the Banshee. And of course, if you know what a Banshee does, Banshees scream very, very loudly. And in this field, you'll know the Banshee's near when you hear it gurgling and screaming. It's been known to chase after people who are lost inside the corn, and it's been known to eat them. So, if you escape that entity, you're one of the lucky ones. And in order to move on to the next part of the level, you do have to escape it. And by escaping it, you'll end up in the original forest of the beginning of the level, and that's when the cycle will start over and over again. Forest, to the siren site, to the screaming scenery, and over and over and over and over and over. It's like an eternal hell. If you're lucky, you'll actually find your way into the camera cloud forest, which is the next part of the level, and this is actually the quietest part of the level by far. There's no abrupt sounds, there's no loud sirens, no screaming, and your ears can finally take a break. A well-deserved break, that is. The Camera Cloud Forest is a very large and expansive spruce forest with a cool and misty aura and ambience. There's a thick mist that runs everywhere, and everything here seems very serene. The only thing that seems to be out of place in this specific forest is the cameras that are placed in the sides of the trees. The cameras seem to be watching you and kind of tracking your movements, but nothing deadly has happened with the cameras yet, so I guess it's kind of okay to search around. Walking through this forest, you might find things like chairs and desks and seats and pencils and printers and other types of office furniture scattered around. It's completely unknown why they're here, but they are. One wanderer actually claimed to find a small shack in these woods with a monitor inside of it that showed all the cameras that were in the forest. They could see whatever's happening. Now, why this monitor exists and this shack exists, who watches the monitor, or if it's actually connected to any other part of the level, it's unknown. Does some powerful entity control the level? Is there a human here? Or is it like just a mishmash of random environments that just happen to be loud and full of sirens? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. There are no colonies, of course, since you can't have a bunch of people losing their hearing, because that wouldn't work. And to enter, you can only be in a forest-themed level, walk too deep into those forests, and you can get sent here. Or, if you're a screamer, you can scream loudly in any hall on any level for a chance to be sent here as well. To exit, you need to be in the cornfield, walk deep enough into it until you kind of find a part of level 10's field, which is just tall wheat. And then once you find that, walk into it and you'll be on level 10. It's pretty simple. This level is literally one of the worst ones you could get sent to in my eyes, mainly for obviously the auditory dangers. I don't want to get my eardrums bursted, but that is just a terrible place. Imagine, being trapped like a prison in this forest, in these fields, and just hearing these sirens blaring constantly for days and days until you go crazy. No one knows anything about this level's effects, or its layout, or why it behaves the way it does, so for now, honestly, just don't go exploring it. You should be okay if you don't do that. So to begin, I want to go over a Backrooms level square root 2. So if you aren't aware, or you haven't heard of square roots, it's a mathematical term where a number under the square root symbol is divisible by two of the same numbers. For example, the square root of 16 is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. The square root of 4 is 2, because 2 times 2 is 4. And the square root of 25 is 5, because 5 times 5 is 25. So on and so forth, you get what it is. Math lessons with Broogli. Leave a like. So this level's name is square root 2, which would mean it's actually Backrooms level 1.414213562237. That's a mouthful, but that is a weird name. The level, of course, is an enigmatic level, and it's classified as a class Sigma, like Sigma Broogli. And it's classified that because of its unreliable documentations and its non-Euclidean space and weird creature thing. This one's just plain strange. I'm gonna be honest with you here. This is one of the only levels that's actually classified as class Sigma, so I think you kind of see how weird it's gonna be. The level takes the appearance of a constant state of fluctuation in a grid plane. There are weird blue fibers and geometric void shapes and everything like that constantly flying around. The size of the level is really unknown because of the constant shifting and because it's pretty dangerous to even try to walk here since the integers of the level move around 24/7. There are blue lines and grids that shoot through the sky constantly, and you can see them and they're real, but they can't hurt you because they pass through all matter. So if you're walking around, the blue lines can just cut right through you. The entire space of the level is non-Euclidean, of course, and it's kind of a grid plane that you can get trapped into. Think of a coordinate plane that you've seen from like the retro stuff. That's what this place looks like. It seems to be that this level is controlled by a creature or entity or something that's kind of mathematical. Because there's been reports of an entity in the level that are described as, quote, the eternal nature of numbers and that this entity is also, quote, lonely in their world. An entire Googleplex could pass by without any external contact, end quote. So it sounds like this entity is lonely in its weird mathematic void type thing. Kinda sad, leave a like for it. There are no bases or communities here, since it's just literally an empty grid plane with blue strings and stuff. And to enter, you have to find an imaginary number on level 81 to get sent here. To be honest, I have no clue how you do that. Don't come asking me, but that's the only way to get here. To exit, you have to find a randomly appearing door in this grid plane and open it up and you'll be sent out. Obviously, this level was a weird one, but I think it was pretty cool. I love the mathematical strangeness of it all. It's just very mind-bending if you think about it. A coordinate void with weird geometry and all this weird stuff thrown through the air. I don't know how to explain it better than that. Hope you liked it. Level Help is next, and this is also a very strange name for a very strange level. It starts with this notice. Quote, the following document is solely based off of a single source of information, that being a corrupted file discovered in the backup drive of the Meg database. It was successfully restored, and whatever viable information that could be gleaned from it is presented herein. Additionally, for the purpose of posterity, an unabridged contents of the discovered file are attached at the bottom. The identity of the file's original author has been determined authentic, as has his disappearance. Therefore, there is a strong reason to consider this account to be genuine. End quote. So that was a pretty weird note that got found, can't lie. But this note describes a level that isn't accessible by normal means. Now, this level has to be accessed by an entity banishing you to it, and I'll get more into that later. The level has been given a class undetermined because of the weird properties and how very few people have actually gotten here, but Help is the name of it because that was the file name of that note in the database, and therefore this level has been given that name. It's thought that this level functions as a type of prison for things that have been banished by that entity. Based on the file's description, it takes the appearance of a large pocket dimension that's very dark and gloomy. Most of it is a very dull and empty void populated with sporadic energy and lightning storms. The ground is just hard gray material, the sky is gray and black, and it expands out. At an unknown point in this stormy void, a random building exists, and this building is a prison because it's made of prison cells. The cells have stone walls and iron bars, and they do not obey physics or geometry or pretty much anything at all, because inside of the cells is much bigger than it looks on the outside. And like I said, this level is a prison dimension, like a prison colony kind of, and the only way to enter is by being banished from an entity. You have to make a certain entity mad, and it sends you here. We have a guess on what the entity is, and I'll get to that in a second. And if it is that entity, we know why it's so powerful. Just know you should not make it mad. But this is just a large void with storms and lightning and a decaying remote prison. It's pretty cool to me. I think it's pretty neat. So now I'm going to read that entire note, and I'm going to show you the important parts because it's really long, but I'll show you the parts that we've gotten, and I'll show you also what entity we think controls this place. I am Jacob Howard of Team Michael in the Meg's Quick Match Regiment. I am currently stranded in an environment which, to my knowledge, has not been documented in the database. Screw it, this is taking too long to form my words. I just gotta type. I barely have enough Wi-Fi signal and battery life to upload this file to the database as it is. For anyone reading this, I'm sorry in advance for the lack of formality, but I'm worried about more important things at the moment. I don't know where I am, but I know how I got here. I was making the rounds in level 1, searching for lost wanderers in need of rescue. Came across this entity, a shadowy guy in a cloak with a large ring of keys. I saw him approaching a wanderer and I rightfully assumed the worst, so I drew my weapon. Suddenly he came out of nowhere with this golden key that he pulled off his ring. He literally ripped a hole in the air with it. I can't explain it better. He just opened a hole in the air and he shoved me into it, and now I'm here. I'm in some kind of holding cell where I'm definitively being held prisoner for all intents and purposes. No idea why I'm not dead, but not that I'm complaining. The cell looks like the kind in a medieval dungeon, heavy wrought iron barred door, surrounded by stone on all sides. Its dimensions are perfectly fitted to the size of my body, with there being exactly enough room to stand up and reach out my arms completely. My god, there's no bottom or ceiling or walls here. I'm just floating in this endless void. The cages aren't even being held by anything. We're just in this massive empty void. Everything's suspended in midair. He's here. The cloak guy, he popped himself out of nowhere. I have to finish this quickly. I have no clue how to get out of here. I'm assuming those keys on his ring could. I don't have much time, Meg. If you're reading this, you better come and rescue me ASAP. If this is the last time anyone hears from me, I just want to say that I thought I did what was right. And this is how I'll go out if it comes to that. So the file then ends right after he says that, and that's pretty much all we know. This Jacob guy has not been found or located whatsoever, but we do have a sneaking suspicion that the entity is Entity X, the Keymaster. This is a very powerful creature, one of the most strong in the backrooms, and can kind of just control time and reality. I'll link a video that I made on him in the description. Who knows though? Weird prison level. You shouldn't make the Keymaster mad. You shouldn't do any of that, but don't go here. Unless you're me, I could probably survive myself, but hope you enjoy. So level 228 doesn't actually have a classification graphic, which I find pretty interesting. But if I personally were to give it one, I would give it a class undetermined because of its unknown effects and its unknown features. And there's a lot of them, let me tell you. The level itself takes the appearance of a sprawling mirror maze with very strange lighting on all sides. The lighting behind the mirrors and around the mirrors can take any color possible. And the mirror maze sort of looks like one of those you'd find at a carnival or a fair. The maze itself is actually not that hard to escape on the surface. It just might take a few days to get to the end of it, just simply because of the size of the level. The issue is, the level's effects might just make that a lot harder than it seems. Trust me, it does make it a lot harder than it seems. And you'll see what I'm referring to later on in the video. Now, under the first paragraph of the level's documentation, there's a sentence that says, quote, "The level's also pretty stable, so it's a good place to rest for a bit too. Quiet too. Just don't go too deep until you're ready for it." End quote. So from that sentence, we get the fact that the level is actually pretty calm and pretty quiet, with no entities running at you. Well, kinda. But that last part of the sentence, that last part where it says, "Don't go too deep," gee, I wonder, what dangers could that imply? So if you do end up going too deep into the mirror maze too fast, some interesting things will begin to unfold before your eyes. Your reflection will start to change ever so slightly in the mirrors. It'll be really small things at first, like the logo on your shirt will change, the color of your pants will change, the shoelaces that you're wearing will change, and small things like that will begin to look different in your own reflection inside of the mirrors in the maze. Now, if you've ever been in a mirror maze in real life, you know that there's like an infinite amount of reflections of you. So every single move you make, even just the shake of a finger, the mirrors will start to reflect that action over and over and over again with a slight delay each time. The further away the reflection, the slower the mirror will react. So when you're at that point in this level, the mirrors will begin to change those slight things about you. Even deeper on into the maze, the mirrors will begin to warp your reflection even more. Your face will begin to distort into weird shapes, and your hair will start to look longer or shorter, and your body will start to show more limbs in each reflection, more fingers, more toes, and eventually you'll start to become more unrecognizable. Then there's a quote after that paragraph that says, quote, "But they're all you. You'll know if you look into their eyes. You'll see the same thoughts, the same hopes, the same pain." End quote. So essentially, this mirror maze begins to warp your reflection into something that is beginning to look inhuman. It's looking less and less like you every second you're stuck here. You'll still be able to see that it's you if you look up into the eyes of the reflection, but it's still uncanny. Now, at this point in the maze, what is real and what is a reflection will start to blur together. The lines between reality and reflection become even thinner, and every single twitch you make gets echoed a million times over and over again, to the point where you don't even know if you are the reflection and the thing in the reflection is you, or if the other thing's real and you're fake. It's hard to tell. Even further on, the reflections might show you as a wretch, or another entity, or even another person that doesn't even look like you. These reflections will begin to have a slight delay in the moves that you make. giving you this uncanny, creepy feeling. As of writing this video, it's unknown if these things in the reflections are actually you, or if there's a real entity or another human type thing behind the mirrors, just like imitating whatever you're doing. Whatever the case may be, this is where the mental effects of the level really start to take a hold of you. Even deeper into the maze, some of the mirrors will not even show a reflection. All that. You'll make it to the deepest part of the level. It's not quite the middle part, because the middle is where the exit is, but this is the deepest part that can be explored. This part is very distorted and confusing for anyone that comes here, because at this point, the mirrors here will begin to change into windows, and you can look into these windows, and you'll see other windows and mirrors and TV screens and puddles, and literally any object that has a reflection, you'll be able to see it through these mirror window things. So it pretty much just opens up this huge infinite area that can be looked into. All of these reflections will be showing your face, and your face will be looking back at you. From every single angle, you'll be looking at yourself, to the point where the level begins to make you think you're the reflection, and your actual body isn't even real. Now, if you don't let yourself go crazy, and you somehow make it through all that and keep going, you'll begin to enter the center of the level. Now, a letter from the author about the center of the level reads as follows. When I looked into this mirror, I saw nothing but myself. Everything about myself. My flaws, my hopes, my fears, my shames, my secrets, my successes, my failures. All of it reflected back at me in an impartial reflection. We tell ourselves a lot of lies, and this mirror stripped me of mine. It laid me bare with nowhere to hide. I don't know how long I was there, teetering on the edge between human and wretch, finally coming to terms with the despair in my heart. If you're ready and you want to understand, look into the mirror. I'll be waiting. Find me. End quote. So that's just not horrifyingly derealization crisis at all, right? That's just completely normal. So try not to look into the reflections in this level at all, especially once you get deeper. You know, maybe at the beginning, the level's, a calm mirror maze, you might be able to look at it there, but once you get deeper and these weird warped figures begin looking back at you, and you can't even tell what's real and what's you from what's in the mirrors, don't even look at yourself. Just look straight at the ground and follow the path. To enter the level, it doesn't say. So that actually might be a good thing, because now you don't know how to get yourself trapped here, but it also could be a bad thing, because you might accidentally come here and you don't know what to avoid. But if you do get sent here and you want to escape, the only way you can escape is you can find a random placed door among these mirrors. The door itself will be labeled 149. You have to then open that door and you'll be on the actual level 149. It's that simple. Now, speaking of 149, it's actually a completely safe paradise, actually. It's completely normal. There's no dangers here. So maybe it's actually worth it to try to come to this mirror maze. That way you can get to the paradise of level 149. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. The levels page starts with a medical report of someone who was found not alive, which is, of course, a great way to start off a level. It reads as follows. Date, January 6, 2016. Dear Jenny Blackwood, it is with a heavy heart and profound responsibility that I write to you concerning the tragic incident involving Michael Richardson. Incident overview. The date of the incident, January 2nd, 2016. Location, near Elmwood Park, Oak Street. Time, approximately 11:30 p.m. Medical findings. Upon arrival at the scene, Michael Richardson was found in a critical state due to a vehicular collision. Despite immediate intervention and emergency care, the extent of the injuries was severe. The primary cause of death was identified as traumatic brain injury, compounded by multiple internal injuries. Efforts to resuscitate were exhaustive, but regrettably unsuccessful. Time of death. Michael Richardson was pronounced deceased at 12:15 a.m. Please accept my deepest condolences for your loss, and know that my thoughts are with you during this challenging time. Sincerely, Dr. Elizabeth, Chief of Emergency Medicine, Elmwood Hospital. Someone is no longer alive, and you'll definitely see what happened later on the video. Backrooms level 251 has been classified as a class 2 survival difficulty because it's very unsafe, and it's very unsecure, and it has a low but very, very dangerous entity count. The physical description of the level has been cataloged as the following. Level 251 consists of several branching segments of watercourse tunnels. Just like those tunnel rides that you'd get on at Disney or in like a theme park, that's what it looks like here. Inside these tunnels, there are 2 narrow walkways on each side. In the grand scheme of the backrooms, level 251 is actually pretty small, and is estimated to only be about 20,000 kilometers squared. The different tunnels in this level typically stretch out into a mile in length, and at the end of that mile, they split off into 2 other directions. The level has no natural lighting, since it takes place inside of tunnels, and the only source of light is very dim lamps that are scattered across the walls. The lamps suck, for lack of a better term, and they barely put out any light, so if you want to see where you're going, you probably should bring your own lantern or flashlight or something, because in this level, there are literally parts that are pitch black. So do with that what you will. The different tunnel sections are segmented by a decorative archway, and these archways normally take a romantic or lovey theme. For instance, an archway could be a heart, or swans, or flowers, or something else. All of these things are love or romantic themed. The walls of the tunnels here typically are rough and very coarse. They're covered in mold and dust, and it's actually to the point where you can just see mole spores and dust floating in the air. Underneath the tunnel's tracks and the paths, there is a ditch-like structure where knee-deep water flows constantly. Now, the water is gross, it's disgusting and dirty. It's very abandoned looking, and it seems very murky. There's often a bunch of dirt and debris floating in the top of it. While walking through the level, you might come across an abandoned boat or something like that takes the appearance of a swan. You've seen those swan boats from those real-life love cave ride things. They're here as well. Most of these boats look old and abandoned, just like the rest of the level, and it is not recommended to step foot inside unless you just want to sink into the water. The rest of the tunnels are decorated with things that used to look good. There are weird looking dolls and animatronics, and you can tell at one time that wherever this level is used to be a vibrant and colorful romantic place. It used to be very, very cute and charming. The decor you might see could include old heart cutouts, or roses, or cupids, or doves, or other symbols of love, and you also might see little panoramic window scenes with small figurines. These decorations, however, are not present in every single tunnel, and sometimes you might find yourself walking in an empty tunnel with nothing but these moldy waters and walls. Now, these specific empty tunnels are interesting because multiple wanderers have reported experiencing a serene calmness while walking through them. Some have said they get a really deep, nostalgic feeling as well. The reason for this is unknown, but it's in these empty areas where the walls and the water are rougher and more coarse. It's also been noted that wanderers develop an addiction to walking deeper and deeper into these empty tunnels the longer they're inside of them. So because of this, it's not recommended to stay in any tunnel for long, much less the empty ones. Even deeper into the complex of tunnels, wanderers might stumble upon a room that looks to be an entrance of the ride. The room will have a waiting line area with those red velvet ropes, there'll be a ticket booth, and there'll be chairs where you can sit and relax. The sign in this room says the name of the attraction. The name is Love Ride, which is where the name of the level comes from, if you didn't catch that. There's a panel with a red button inside of the booth that can be pressed if you want to start up the ride, and when you press the button, you'll hear a bunch of old machinery noises begin to start, only for a few seconds before it fades into silence. After this, you can get into a boat or a cart, and you can begin your journey through the rest of the level. The level is home to an entity that is extremely unsettling, and to be honest, very dangerous. Actually, it's probably one of the more dangerous ones I've gone over. Hidden at the bottom of the level's page is this image, with the caption, "What have I done to deserve this? Why do you make me suffer?" I mean, that picture is just nightmare fuel as it is, so let's get into the explanation of it and see how much worse it can get. The entity in question is Entity 215-A, the Apparition, and it's been classified as a Class 3B danger. The apparition manifests itself as a wanderer's former lover, or former partner, or just someone from their past romantic life. The entity will physically take the appearance of that former lover, and it'll say things and mention things that you and your former lover used to talk about. The entity has been known to use psychological manipulation to hunt down its targets, and it'll do things like whisper and call out to you in order to lure you deeper towards it. It's been stated that the apparition preys on the Wanderer's emotional vulnerability and will break down the psyche of anyone it can. It'll keep doing this mental warfare until the Wanderer is completely too tired or incapacitated and can't move. Once this happens, the entity will initiate something called the consumption process. So this is nasty, prepare yourself. The apparition will begin to attach itself to Wanderer's skin, and it will progressively digest them from the outside in, starting with the skin and working its way into the inside organs. Let me repeat that. This apparition thing will graft itself to your skin and eat you, like a spider, kinda. The consumption is over when the entire body is consumed and only a pile of bones and flesh and clothes are left behind. Nice. In order to not become the apparition's next meal, you need to ignore any voices or any signs of someone that you think you know on this level. You need to keep moving in a straight line and do not detour down other tunnels, and you need to stay aware of reality. Do not let yourself fall back into the memories of that apparition. No matter how much you love that person, they are not here, they are not real. Failure to do those things that I just said will cause you to become a pile of bones and clothes and be the next meal from the apparition. To enter the level, you can find a tunnel in the pool rooms that leads to one of these tunnels here, and to exit, you need to find a randomly placed exit door in the side of the tunnel to get out. These are usually placed in completely random spots, so good luck finding that. To recap this level, it is a semi-large complex of tunnels that looks like those old romantic boat rides from real life. Everything here is abandoned, all the hearts, the doves, the cupids, the boats, the tunnels, it's all old and rotten, and all the water smells gross. It's dusty and moldy. Inside these tunnels lives the apparition entity, which tries to lure you towards itself by acting like a former romantic partner of yours. Once it does that, well, it'll eat you. That's frankly, it's gonna consume you. And that's pretty much it.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
The level. Backrooms level 890, or Overprotection as it's been nicknamed, is classified as a class pending survival difficulty because it's unsafe and unsecure, to be frank. There is a low entity count, but it doesn't matter because the entity that's here is just very dangerous. Again, I'll get into that later. Hold tight. Level 890 is the 891st level in the catalogs of lore, and it takes the following appearance. The level resembles a foggy, empty, and abandoned amusement park with signage that calls itself Happy World. As if that's not creepy enough, it gets worse. The park is brightly and vibrantly decorated, and it has booths and rides and buildings and games and all sorts of the other stuff that you would see at a theme park from real life. The air smells sugary, and you can smell food cooking, and there's just this cheerful vibrance to the surroundings. The entire theme park will pretty much remind you of a local county fair from your childhood, or like a state fair or something, and oftentimes it looks like that too, with the Ferris wheels and the party games and everything like that. Sometimes it looks a little too much like the things from your childhood and the fairs from your childhood, and it seems that the level somehow warps it to look like that specifically for you.
And anyone else who comes here.
Cakes or fried Oreos, and these smells are emitting
from the food stands and trucks that are scattered throughout the park. These trucks are typically in these food court type areas where there's a bunch of vendors and stores and shops and souvenir stores, and all of them have like merchandise and hats and stuff for the Happy World amusement park. The Happy World logos and designs are very uncanny looking, and you'll get strange, unnerving feelings while looking at them. You know it's not real, but it looks so real. It looks like somebody did this on purpose, but there's no one else around. Now, the bad news about that good-smelling food is that it's usually spoiled or rotten, so you can't eat anything. But these souvenir shops do typically have small supplies, and sometimes even drinks or, refreshments in the refrigerators inside. It's highly recommended to drink almond water while you're exploring this carnival. That way you don't get overwhelmed with the feelings of uneasiness or loneliness or anything like that. It's a very common thing to get those feelings. Just don't worry about it, okay?
Level 890 has absolutely no day or night cycle, and it's stuck in a constant daytime. And the temperature here stays from a 53 degrees Fahrenheit to like 68 degrees, which is 12 Celsius to 20 Celsius, for anyone here that's not from the US of A, which means it's a very cool and crisp level to be on. The level is prone to random events of thick fog rolling in that covers up the sun and the sky. This fog is a moniker of bad things to come, and it gives the entire place a very unsettling energy. The fog will also make it hard to exploit level, since you can't see the fog. But besides that, the level is only safe until the bottom. It seems as if whoever or whoever controls the level uses this calm environment theme park as for distraction, and it was something then the fog You are in control here. All we need is for you to remember. Stay with us. Stay. Look behind you. Everyone's here. Entrances and exits. Why would you care about that? Alright, well that was the level as itself is described on the wiki, and to say the least, that was very interesting. Now I want to diagram it, kind of go over it, jump full MatPat mode into examining what all that stuff means, and without any more blabbering, let's do it. Let's start with the very beginning of the description. So the level takes place at some sort of town, a very small town that looks like any other one you might have seen. Allegedly around 4,000 people, quote unquote, live in this town, and I say people like that because I doubt they're real individuals. Your mind might be conjuring them up, or they could be entities. And as a matter of fact, the town itself might not even be real. It might be just your mind playing tricks on you, but who knows? If the town is real, then there is an old breakfast store in that town, as well as other places, like the school and houses and other restaurants and that sort of thing. None of that really stands out. It just seems to be a town that has weird people or entities that live there. What does stand out, though, are the weird and strange sentences between all that normal stuff.
like this one. There's people here. People like you and me, about 4,000. You'll know them all eventually, every single one of them. They're nice enough to overlook that smell of burning rust in your ears or the faint sound of skin breaking coming from the sky. Like, what does that even mean? Well, that is horrific to listen to. Imagine the sky just sounds like skin ripping and tearing, and somehow there's rust and rot in your ears. Again, it's unknown if this is real rust, real rot, or if it's just you decaying and being stuck in this town forever. There is an old school in this town, and there's the house, like I said, and this whole level is kind of stuck in a picture as a still frame, you could say. It seems fake, it seems uncanny, and rot seems to be consuming all of it. The fake image of it is corroding away as you speak. What we do know about this level is that getting trapped inside of it, no matter if it's in your brain or if it's actually real, will be your final destination. And the level will individually consume every part of you, whether it's you fading away, you rotting away, you literally being eaten. That's just what's gonna happen. You can't leave. There are no entrances or exits listed on this page either, so we don't really know how to avoid the level, or even how to survive it if you do find yourself stuck there. I can't tell you how to escape it because I don't know. Sorry, but all the information that I've read today and talked about and theorized is all we have. There's nothing else that we can guess on or deduce on. I think it speaks for itself, if I'm being honest, especially that last paragraph, which I'll read again. Start building, molding. We're adaptable. We can be whatever you want, and we knew what you wanted from the second you set foot here. Keep that rot at bay. Just remember, whatever you want, all the time, you're in control here. All we need for you to do is remember. So stay with us. Stay. Look behind you. Everyone's here. Nice. So yeah, that was the home level of the backrooms. A very, very classic level, very, very psychological, thrilling level. It's been around for a long time. It's level 200. It's very famous. I don't remember or think I've ever gone over it. Like, I don't think I've dedicated an entire video to it. So that's what this one was. Hopefully you did enjoy it. And even though I couldn't tell you how to avoid a level, how to survive it, I kind of could describe it that way. If you get sent, you'll know you're there just because you watched the video. Backrooms of 82 is the 83rd level in the catalog of lore, and it's been classified as a class 1 difficulty for being decently safe and decently secure with very high instant count. Although I would say it should be a class 2 difficulty because of how dangerous it can actually be. The level environment takes the appearance of a never-ending indoor market type area that has a very, very strict opening and closing schedule. The entire place is indoors. There's no skylight for reading, and there's no accessibility outside. It's just a giant indoor market. Absolutely massive. There are multiple floors, multiple levels, and the ceiling is very tall. There are massive window panes that look like the highest sky. There's no sun, but the light that shines through the windows don't block them from out. The entire floor is floor light along the Victorian market mixed with
Reviews from wanderers who have been in them. It's almost like a hotel billboard from real life with a 5-star review on it. Moving down the road even further, you will run across a few abandoned cars. Inside the cars, you may be able to find rare necessities for survival. You can also rest and relax inside the cars if you're tired or if you're hot. But the only danger you might face while walking on these roads is actually a randomly appearing car. And this car is very anomalous, and it seems to drive up and down the roads randomly at a high rate of speed, kind of just zooming back and forth, flooring it. The car has no one in it, it's unknown where it comes from or how it gets around, but it literally just flies from end to end and road to road without stopping. Even if you see it, it's not going to slow down for you, so get out of the way unless you want to be unalived. Signs of old and abandoned settlements are very noticeable here. These settlements often include things that every other town has, like gas stations, oil wells, houses, general stores, all that stuff. All of these places are empty and long abandoned, actually. These towns almost give off the vibe of an old movie set, because it just seems like no one ever lived here. It's been that long. Inside these old buildings, you might find some old food or soured water, but other than that, it's really just nondescript and empty. All of these different settlements have been described by wanderers as eerie, simply because of just how empty they are. It seems like these towns were created for tourism at one point, because the majority of them have gift shops and travel centers, but no evidence of current life is attainable, so we're not sure how that works. But the settlements, like everything else in this level, are randomly placed, with no real sense of design put in them. Why would you put a town this far in the desert? It makes no sense. The weather inside this level can change, but it's usually partly cloudy or sunny, depending on the time of day. The sun in the sky seems to be some type of star, and it's not exactly like the Earth's sun, but it does lead to temperatures not being scorching hot. 33 Celsius, which is like 91 Fahrenheit, is the average, which is hot itself, yes, but it's not unbearable.
Nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to continue to see videos like this, just turn the post noties on, bruh. It's right there. It's free. You can do it for free. Also, make sure to check out Spoogli, my third channel, and Toogli, my second channel, if you want more content from me. Thank you all so much for all you do. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, I'm Broogli, and today I bring you part 4 of the top 10 most terrifying backrooms levels. And the first 3 parts will be linked in the description below. If you want to go check them out before this one, you don't have to. I think you're going to love it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Let's get into it, shall we? Backrooms level 148, aka the living level, is classified as a class 5B, which means it's unsafe, unsecure, and has environmental dangers.
Strangely, though, is an area known as the West Platform. This area is a maze of structures that you might run into off in the expanses of Paradise 772 that looks very, very eerily similar to level 0. Except here there are no textures, there are no buzzing lights, there's no carpet, there's no anything like that. There's just outlines of walls and ceilings and lights that look like level 0. This area is the out-of-bounds area. The area that you can get to by glitching out of level 0 incorrectly. You're kind of seeing what's behind the curtain, you know what I'm saying? But the entirety of Paradise 772 is so uncanny and unnatural for your human 3D body to be in. Since the entire paradise is made of shapes and geometry, your body here is kind of like Play-Doh being constantly molded and morphed into different shapes and geometries. Which means that getting trapped here would mean you're constantly being unfolded and refolded into different shapes and sizes and everything. Which is exactly why at the beginning of this video I said that getting trapped here in Paradise 772, here in the nullscape, the out of bounds, is the worst thing that could probably happen to you as a wanderer through the backrooms. I mean, I don't see what could be worse than that, but if you know, let me know in the comments. I'd be glad to hear. There's this infinity of shapes and colors, but there's no texture, there's no life. And surrounding this entire paradise is this darkness, this void that you can't explore. Truly, coming to the out of bounds, the nullscape, is the worst mistake you can make in the backrooms. There is no exit, there is no life, there is nothing but unfolding matter, and the out of bounds between untextured places that I've discussed. Some people say that this paradise is an escape to reality, and that unfolding and refolding yourself in your own geometry is the only way you can glitch out of the backrooms. But who knows? Some people also say that this is just a trap level, and that those rumors of the exit are fake. But now that you've heard all there is to hear about Paradise 772, now you know to never venture outside of the bounds of the backrooms. Level 306, or Auto Run, is the 307th level inside of the backrooms. Oh, hello there. In this video, I will be going over 5 backrooms levels that you forgot existed. Or maybe you just have dementia. These are lesser known levels that have slipped through the cracks in the lore, and also the cracks in your mind. They exist very deep inside of the Backrooms complex, and they're rarely talked about on the surface still to this day. They're empty, they're rotten, yet they're liminal and they're dreamy, all at once. Since the Backrooms is infinite, it's pretty hard to keep up with all of the levels, which is why I wanted to make this video for you here today, maybe to give you some nostalgia, maybe to bring back those feelings of the early Backrooms. So if you enjoy all of this, or any of it at all, and you want more in this style, please leave a like. If this video gets 10,000 likes, I will make a video about forgotten Backrooms entities, if it gets 10,000 likes. But with all that said, grab some peppermint bark, grab some hot chocolate, sit back and relax, dim the lights, and let's get into this nostalgia, shall we? Backrooms Level Pi is classified as a Class 2E difficulty and is pretty unsafe with non-entity hazards. So you're not going to have to worry about a wretch chasing you, you're going to have to worry about the level hurting you. That's all you need to know. Level Pi is actually a sub-level that is thought to exist between levels 3 and level 4. The level's physical appearance is pretty unique to all the other levels that I've gone over. It looks like this bright, bold expanse of hills. The grass, the sky, the clouds, all of it is set to the highest saturation possible, which just means that all of the colors are literally as bold as they can physically be. The hills here are so round in some spots that it's impossible to climb up them, so they're kind of just like spheres sticking out of the ground. And also some of the hills are coming out of the ground at such unnatural ways, or they're slanted in really strange angles, that it doesn't even like make any comprehensible sense to your brain. You literally cannot even fathom it. It all just adds to how trippy the level is. The hills and slopes almost act like ocean waves, but instead of water, it's grass. There are also freshly paved asphalt roads that wind around the hills as well, and these roads curve and follow them, all the slopes and turns and everything. Even the ones that don't make any sense, there's still roads going up them. But some of the roads seem to randomly end or curve and then just stop, which is pretty strange. So pretty much the hills and the roads are so curvy and windy and wavy that it would be hard for your brain to even understand what you're looking at. Not to mention how bright and saturated everything is. The most common thing on this level, besides those hills and roads, are the multicolored gas stations. And these are placed on really strange locations. In fact, it doesn't even seem possible to have buildings where these are. Hey, that's the Backrooms for you. They're put on direct hillsides, on top of hills, on the sides of hills, in the valleys, literally anywhere. Even if it doesn't even seem possible for a building to exist, they're gonna be there. The one constant with these gas stations is that they'll always be near a road to some degree. Now inside the gas stations, there is legitimately no sign of any human life. But each of them is perfectly bright and clean and spotless. There are things themselves too, but they never move, and you can't move them. It's also just in time. The actual brands of the gas stations that are here level do not exist in real life. It's a completely new, random brand that no one's ever seen before. It's also creepy, in my opinion. The names of the roads is out of the world. Like, they're never seen before. But even after all that, I think the weirdest thing on this level is that sometimes a random fog will appear and start to roll over the hills. This fog kind of hovers and swirls its way around the hills, and when it gets near you, you can see the saturation of the level just lower. Kind of like the Russians telling us how to see. And the area near the fog, the color pixels, it passes down. I'm not sure whether the level is low resolution when the fog is on. It's not really. It's this fog is the biggest environmental danger on the level besides the practice of the game. Here, you'll get severe stomach aches. On top of all that, this section actually makes your sanity drop really quickly, which obviously isn't good. But yeah, that's it for the danger zone. It's like the first safe zone, but dangerous. There are actually 3 colonies that call this level home. The first one is called the Lifeguards, which pretty much is a group of around 90 members who live in that main area where the platforms are. They refuse to trade with outsiders, but they will save anyone's life who's drowning or seems to be struggling in any way. The next group is called the Swimmers, and they have around 60 members, and literally they just teach people how to swim around the level. Like, that's it. The last group is called the Republic, and they live in the danger zone. They're armed, but they're friendly, and they'll protect you from any hostile entities that might be attacking. Speaking of entities, the entities here are the typical ones, like Smilers, Skin Stealers, and Wretches, but there's one more called the Glitchton, which is a really rare entity, but it's also very dangerous. They look like a humanoid skeleton, but they have neon bones, and also they have a metal arm. They're very aggressive when attacking, and their main threat that they cause is that they can hear very well, so if you're splashing around or whatever, they'll probably come to you. And they wear clothing that's been dipped in liquid silence, so you can't hear them, which is terrifyingly creepy. Like, imagine just being there, and turning around, and seeing a skeleton with a metal arm just standing right behind you. Creepy. To enter this level, you can no-clip into level -33, or you can no-clip into the bottom of an empty pool from level 823 if you want to come here. And to exit, you can find a cylinder stairway and walk up those stairs to be sent to level -33, or you can just no-clip into any wall that you can in the safe zone area to be sent to level 7. Easy peasy. Alright, now that I've talked about the level itself, I want to show you this pool rooms found footage that was inspired by this level entry. The footage comes from a YouTuber named Jared Pike. It's a cool name, because, you know, my name's Jared too. This footage is actually really cool, and I recommend you go check it out for yourself if you want to watch the entire thing. But in the video, we can see the safe zone area with the white tiles and shallowish water, and we can also see the main room area with the platforms. We don't get any footage inside of the danger zone, but we can see the entrances to the danger zone where it starts to get dark. And today I'll be explaining Backrooms level -404. Also known as When the Music Stops. Now this one is very famous, and it's been very popular amongst the fans of the Backrooms, and I'm actually pretty surprised they hadn't gone over it yet, but I am doing it today, and you're definitely not going to want to visit this level in the lore. And if for some reason you're on it, when the music stops playing, you need to run and hide, because they're probably gonna find you. If that sounds cool at all, leave a like on this video, and without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? -404 is the -405th level of the Backrooms, and it's been given a class 5 difficulty rating due to it being unsafe and unstable, with strange entity properties as well as strange musical effects. Both of those things play a huge role in this level. The level looks to take place inside of a very nicely decorated, brightly colored Victorian-era house. There are many different areas in this house, and each of them play a specific role in this level. I'll get into each individual place later, but those areas are already following. There's a master bedroom, there are 5 identical spare bedrooms, there's a kitchen, a dining room, a bathroom, a living room, a full furnished basement, a sunroom, and hallways that connect all of them. All those different rooms have different properties and effects that I'll get into in a second. But first, let me know what happens when you get sick of this level. When you wake up here, you could be in or outside of any of those rooms I just mentioned. The level itself is always in a state of mid-morning, so there's always going to be sun shining through the windows, and there's no day or night cycle, so never stop. To be honest, a lot of people think this level is safe when they first get in here because the decorations are cozy, it just seems like house, the temperature is moderate, there's light outside, there's classical music playing out in the distance, each of the room has pretty bad practice happening. Outside the windows of the house, there is nothing to explore. In terms of white noise, there's nothing to see, but it's outside the bathroom, rules video, then you know what the bathroom is off, also rules to see in the house, rules to see has some other anomalous features, which I'm about to get into. The first one is that it is impossible for two people to be sent to the same spot here at the same time. So if you and a friend no-clip from a different level to try to get here, you will not end up in the same spot. Even if you no-clip from the same spot, you'll be sent to opposite sides of this level, and this level is infinite, so there's no point finding them. The next anomalous feature is that fog that I talked about. It's the main anomaly here, well, because it's always there, and because it can change completely in color depending on where you are in the level. It could be in one section and it could be blue, and then 600 feet over, it could be orange. It all depends. The fog also induces this feeling of paranoia and anxiousness, and it makes you feel like you're being watched, because you can't really see into it or see past it, so you never know what's lurking in there looking at you. And those feelings of paranoia and stuff like that are amplified when the level starts to randomly play all the music throughout its streets. Yes, that's right. The third anomaly is this random music that comes out of nowhere just when the wanderer is at their most paranoid point. That's when it starts, is when you're getting real paranoid, and that just pushes you right over the edge to insanity, I would say. And these next two anomalies that are the last ones add a really strange level of creepiness to this level. The first one is called the Upside Down. No, not Stranger Things. And the other one is called the Lights. So this upside down is an anomaly where randomly the entire level inverts itself into two due to gravitational hazards and isolation, but more on both of those later. The overall appearance of the level is that of an outdoor pathway catwalk type area made out of majority metal. It stretches out for as far as the eye can see. The environment that this catwalk is in is unknown because it's shrouded in complete darkness, and the only light here is those dimly lit streetlights that you might walk past. The weather in this level is constantly dark and cool and rainy as well, which gives this soft drizzle at most times. Everything being pitch black and nothing being visible except this infinite path in front of you gives many wanderers feelings of loneliness and depression, because it's just you stuck on this small pathway forever. Also, gravity on level 6.3 is about 33% of what Earth is, which means that you can just jump around with no fall damage. But it also makes for some interesting dangers that you probably don't really think about. Apparently, low gravity can cause damage to the human vascular system, which can lead to circulatory issues down the road, especially after prolonged exposure and being stuck on this pathway. Now, our bodies are not built for less gravity than we have, so they can't freeze out quickly if you get stuck here. Level 6.3 has no day or night cycle, makes this pathway be stuck in one specific time, when it's pitch darkness. So it's really out of reality here. This is why it's raining is with gravity here. Level 6.3 is the closest to the body. issue is that there's been no planes and no military weaponry or any military vehicle at all found. So either they've all been used, or the tripods literally just destroyed what was left. Who knows? The entire level is a post-apocalyptic ghost town that feels like you're the only person in all of humanity left. It gives you the feeling that you no-clipped into someone else's World War III, and you got there right as it ended, and you're the last person to be alive. Now, as I said, this level is thought to be as big as Earth, but where people normally get no-clipped is near a city and surrounding the city in the countryside. There are some small resources in the houses that are outside of the city, like food and what seems to be some kind of drinkable liquid. It's almost like this level produces its own kind of soft drink, or this planet, wherever this is, makes its own different kind of soft drink. It's some kind of flavored water milk substance called Solzats, and it's been found in the broken refrigerators that are here. It's safe to drink, and it's described to have a sweet and salty taste with no carbonation. What's the worst and most dangerous way to speedrun the first 100 Backrooms levels? Hey everyone, my name is Broogli, and today I'm going to be walking you through the dumbest, scariest, most insane way to speedrun the first 100 levels of the Backrooms. This method is going to have the most dangerous environments, terrifying entities, and dumb decisions that you can possibly make trying to get to Backrooms level 100, and it's more of a non-example of how to speedrun it. I've already made a safe speedrun of the first 100 levels, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. This is going to be the opposite of that. So without any more blabbering, let's get into it, shall we? So, no matter what type of speedrun you're doing, you'll always start on level 0, which we all know is the infinite yellow expanse of buzzing lights and wet carpet. But that's the rookie stuff. We're gonna get into the crazy stuff now. Anyways, you need to no-clip out of level 0 as fast as possible and get to level 1. Level 1, of course, is the infinite carport with concrete floors and wetness all over it. You've seen it before. You know what it is. Again, this is rookie stuff. But let's say you're just having a walk down a hallway that's deep into level 1, and you see a big hole in that hallway. You decide to jump directly through that hole, and congratulations, you just made your first of many terrible decisions that you're about to make. Because you did this, you are now in the claustrophobic annex of level 19. Level 19 is only classified across 2 difficulties, so it's not too bad. But it gets really cramped in spaces and feels dusty and gross, and it's just kind of scary enough. But you probably think you made not too bad choice here. To get out of level 19, you need to find a small handheld gaming system in one of the boxes that's gonna get there. So you probably pick it up, and that's the second bad choice you made, because now you'll be sent to level 2 of 12. You passed level 100 with the definition, and you're right ahead, but down level 12. Classified across 5 difficulties, and it's an empty infested airport. You're putting down the line with entities like witches, sphinxes, skinwalkers, hounds, corpses, flowers, and really other bad things, and just in the and shops and souvenir stores, and all of them have like merchandise and hats and stuff for the Happy World amusement park. The Happy World logos and designs are very uncanny looking, and you get strange, unnerving feelings while looking at them. You know it's not real, but it looks so real, like somebody did it on purpose, but there's no one else around. And the bad news about that good smelling food is that it's usually spoiled or rotten, so you can't eat anything. But these souvenir shops do typically have small supplies, and sometimes even drinks or, refreshments in the refrigerators inside. It's highly recommended to drink almond water while you're exploring this carnival, that way you don't get overwhelmed with feelings of uneasiness or loneliness or anything like that. It's a very common thing to get those feelings. Just don't worry about it, okay? Level 890 has absolutely no day or night cycle, and it's stuck in a constant daytime. And the temperature here stays from a 53 degrees Fahrenheit to like 68 degrees, which is 12 Celsius to 20 Celsius. For anyone here that's not from the US of A, which means it's a very cool and crisp level to be on. The level is prone to random events of thick fog rolling in that covers up the sun and the sky. This fog is a moniker of bad things to come, and it gives the entire place a very unsettling energy. The fog will also make it hard to explore the level, since, well, you can't see through fog, but besides that, the level is normally safe until the fog happens. It seems as if whatever or whoever controls the level uses this calm and vibrant theme park as a sort of distraction, and then once the fog comes in, the facade falls and crumbles. Let me explain. It's thought, due to a few logs being found and a few writings and a few notes, and just word of mouth, that a single entity rules over this level and controls it. The entity is only known as Re-Static. The creature seems to be perpetually covered up in fog, and it is extremely malevolent and insidious. It seems to be able to control the fog and use it in a way to, like, hunt and capture its prey, which is you in this case. The following notes and description is all we have of the entity. It takes the very vague appearance of a humanoid shape. It can block out the sun with fog when it's close, and it also has this like splash damage effect where structures and items nearby will start to decay into black dust and soot when it walks closer. Lastly, it seems to be able to animate regular objects into entities and creatures. The creature is so powerful, and it seems to have full grasp and control over these fleshy pits
are unknown.
But there are some theories that have emerged that could explain them. One theory is that the level feeds directly to cities now. Deep crimson red. The trees become black silhouettes.
Becomes this derealization effect of this red horror. So if you encounter the stump, the best thing you can do is to instantly run the opposite way so you don't get trapped in its circumference of hallucinations.
The stump itself seems to call wanderers to it and kind of lure them its way, which is why it's really hard to escape once you're there. Because of these attributes, this has led people to believe that the stump is sentient somehow, or maybe the core of the level. Other than a few theories, no one knows why the stump does this, or how it does this. It's just one of those things in the background we'll never understand. Will flood you. You just get this huge impulse to just dig right into that delicious food. You have to deny this impulse because once it's ingested, certain effects will occur as follows. In the first 5 minutes, you'll start to inflame and you'll start to get a sore throat. And 10 minutes after, you'll get gastritis. 12 minutes in, you'll get extreme erythroderma. 20 minutes in and after, you'll... Riley always had creative dreams, like the day she had to say goodbye to her pacifier. To change the production strategy to create new successes.
smelling a faint smell of air freshener, which is pretty nice. There's also a very, very faint and subtle sound of water flowing that's constantly happening through the pipes in the ceiling and the toilets, which makes the level kind of have a chill vibe to it. Again, at the start. And you'll understand why I'm saying at the start soon. But like I said, most of the bathrooms here just look like empty and lonely public restrooms, but there's actually a very rare type of bathroom that you might find if you're lucky. They've been given the name luxury bathrooms, and you'll know when you're there. They're pretty obvious, they're gold. They're golden appliances and finishes and sinks and marble lighting. It's just a rich person's bathroom. old restaurants and old pools and schools and old stores that you went to a long time ago. All of these spaces will give you these really strong feelings of nostalgia and sadness and loneliness because they're all empty and old looking. And you'll get that typical liminal vibe from them. These corridors, of course, are very glitchy and volatile and warp constantly because it's a negative level and they're all pretty much the same way. And they'll keep going for as long as you do. As of right now, that could be forever because there's no listed exit. So I guess you can get lucky.